Hi everyone, I'm Try. In the next few minutes, I will walk through about a comparative business innovation between Bukalapak, Indonesia pioneering e-commerce platform, and Shein, a global fast fashion unicorn in a CB Insight. Let's do it. Here's what I will cover: quick profile of both companies, why they are actually a fair comparison despite their very different scale. Then for innovation topics: business model innovation, disruptive innovation, technology commercialization, and innovation strategy. For the company profile, Bukalapak was founded in 2010 in Jakarta and listed on the Indonesia Stock Exchange in 2021. In March 2025, it made a major strategic move, exiting the physical goods marketplace entirely to focus on virtual goods and services, organized around four pillars, which is Mitra Bukalapak for MSME digitalization, gaming, investment, and retail. The pivot paid off with revenue up 46% in 2025, and the company swing back to profit. And for Shein, started in 2008 in Nanjing and moved its headquarters in Singapore in 2022. It's a CB Insights unicorn valued at $66 billion, running an on-demand data-driven fashion model, small test batches that only scale once the demand is confirmed. Why put these two side by side? Both are e-commerce platform, both were forced to rebuild their business model under external pressure. Both leaned on AI and data as their main technology lever, and both expanded beyond their original product into new revenue streams. The difference in scale actually makes the comparison more useful, not less, because it lets us see how firm size shapes what innovation choices are even evolving. Let's move to business model innovation. Bukalapak rebuilt itself around four asset-light pillars after exiting its core marketplace. Shein went the other direction, turning its operational strength into a platform, adding a third-party marketplace and selling its manufacturing stack through Accelerator. The comparative insight here is that both diversified beyond their founding product, but Bukalapak exited a weakened core, while Shein monetized its strength as software. This lines up with a trust point that a business model has to keep adapting as market safe. Neither company treated its original model as fixed. Next one, disruptive innovation. Bukalapak was disrupted by social commerce rivals like TikTok Shop and Tokopedia, and responded by retreating into a defensible MSME niche. Shein, on the other hand, was the disruptor, cutting its fashion cycle down to just 5 days, but is now facing disruption itself. This shows that disruptive advantage is rarely permanent. Trout's work explains how a technology that looked inferior can overtake the dominant one over time, and read in reverse. It also explains how today disruptor can be overtaken once its own advantage disappears. For technology commercialization, Bukalapak used AI mainly to help Mitra merchant forecast demand and reduce stock out a practical internal tool. Shein goes much further using AI for real-time trend forecasting, running its own innovation center for government monitoring, and through Accelerator actually selling that R&D to competitor brands. So while both commercialize their data science into real operating outcomes, CN turns its R&D into a standalone revenue line while Bukalapak is technology internal. This connects Future's point that R&D only creates value when it's tied to business strategy and push to market. Accelerator is CN doing exactly that. Finally, innovation strategy. Bukalapak deliberately narrowed its focus to Tier 2 and 3 markets and B2B infrastructure, prioritizing profitability. CN with its category leadership on speed, price, and scale across more than 150 countries. But that strategy is now being tested as its regulatory efforts close. Using Track for generic innovation strategies, Bukalapak clearly fits the market's connotations policy mode while CN began as a leader or offensive player and is now having to adapt instantly. That's pushing CN toward the same lesson Bukalapak earlier learned: diversify before your core advantage disappears. Here's the full comparison at a glance. Across all four topics, Bukalapak consistently takes the focused defensive path, returning to a niche and keeping its technology internal, while Shein takes the aggressive, scale-driven path to its position is now shifting as it adapts to another pressure. So for key takeaways, first, scale step strategy. Second, both companies turn a core capability into a platform. Third, no disruptive advantage lasts forever. And fourth, both commercialize the technology rather than just researching it. Together, these two very different companies actually point to the same underlying lesson about innovation management. These are the results behind this analysis. And thank you for watching.